somebody that could say something that sounded like a train.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so he's going to write poems that sound like trains. I told him
Great.
he's going to have his whole club do it, and their theme will be Rhythm of the Rails.
Great.
So what it, how it's working out, but at least he's trying it.
Brilliant.
But I think that's a great way for us to get people is like to say, give us your poetry or give us your videos or stuff like that. Okay, so where am I? A collage idea that I put together starting with Miami on the left as far as North Carolina. Great, Sean.
Well, it's just an idea. When I can figure out how to when I send you this idea for Han Lee, you'll understand a bit better what that's about. I just trying to thinking of ways of representing. Remember we were talking about this big long map thing. That's obviously not going to work because it would need to just be too long if we use Google Earth. It would just be miles long. So I'm just trying to come up with a way of maybe representing the journey either in a cartoon format or in a photo collage format, or maybe a bit of both.
I was thinking that maybe, where you got it 42 feet long, maybe you're just, if you take like half a state at one time on a Google map, and you do Miami to maybe halfway up the state or a third way, but I'll try and find time and work on that too.
But you see, I think that far out of an image is just going to look so bland. It's not going to. Okay, maybe don't use it as a satellite. Maybe just use it as a map. Maybe click the map version of it, and maybe just.
That's what I meant.
Okay.
There might be a way that we can even capture what we're doing on video, but we'll play around with it this weekend.
Yeah. From where I am so far with this webcam idea, I think you should try from your side with some kind of a web stream supplier as well. Because when I arrive over in the States, if my crowd from the UK, there could be a problem with it might be an American. The broadband, if we get the broadband chip, it might have a problem with the UK supplier. It might be easier to go with.
Gotcha.
And if you have if you spend a little bit of time on trying to understand it as well, it'll mean that the two of us will have some chance of pulling it off. Because I think this is going to be very tricky. And
well, I'll do a Craigslist, and I'll see how interested Mike is in maybe giving us that day or that time.
Yeah.
I just want, where I'm from in my history and in cognizing where other people are.
Yeah.
So where are we headed? Is that the third one?
No, where are you going?
Where are you going?
And again, that's a kind of I won't say it's a trick question, but it's a bit like most people might think, oh well, I'm heading to New York. Or other people might treat it a bit more philosophically, like Margaret will say. Margaret might say, well, where am I going? That's a very debatable question. Like, I mean, at what stage in my life that you find me on a train heading north along with you crazy filmmakers? Like, I mean, they might throw a question back at us for that, and fair play to them.
By the way, you just triggered something. When you said north, did I tell you that the name of the movie is not South by Southwest?
You did?
North by Northwest.
Yeah.
And I mentioned it to Margaret. I said South by Southwest. And she was only one of two people, my sister being the other one, that said, no, it's North by Northwest. And Margaret went into it. It's with Cary Grant. And there's this incredible scene that as soon as she said it, I remembered that Cary Grant is standing. I'm going to get it off YouTube, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Okay, he's standing in Kansas. Now, you don't understand what Kansas means to an American. But Kansas, if you drive through Kansas, it's just flat cornfields forever. And that's Kansas. It's just totally flat, nothing interesting. Kansas.
Yeah.
And Dorothy's from Kansas.
Yeah.
So she said, Cary Grant in this wheat field or in this field in Kansas, and he's standing there, and all of a sudden a crop duster comes overhead and gets him. And it's a mind-blowing scene.
Wow.
So I haven't looked at it again since she said it, but I think that if we tie together Gauguin's painting, and I still can't say it, the way the Irish say it, and nobody says it the way the Jews say it. I think we ought to take within our blog each one of the ones he says and fill them up with stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Go on. Keep going.
Okay. I'll put that in there because I think that Cary Grant scene from that movie will be great in there.
Yeah.
But I'm sort of seeing that we can just incorporate great other stuff, and I think once it's up on YouTube, I think that gives everybody a license to use the YouTube video. Just go back to it.
Yeah. Okay, I get you. Well, I think that we might have another good law or legal stand there, that if you make a piece of art from something, that legal. I know that I could copy a Mona Lisa and change her ear, and I could put a mustache on her, or I'd be
somebody more recent, like whoever that guy was that I thought your video of me looked like, Andy Warhol.
Yeah, you can, as long as in Ireland the law is if you change something by a percentage that a court could agree that he's altered this idea by at least 15 or 20%. Like when I had an exhibition in 2000 in New York with Ernest Ruckel, we were trying to challenge Disney by showing Minnie Mouse dancing topless on a stage in New Orleans in a tent. You know what I mean? We were taking the piss, but you wouldn't go, oh my God, she's topless. That's a sacrilege. We were. Ernest Ruckel has got some highfalutin lawyer in New York who was ready. Our whole idea was, would we be challenged by Disney? And it never happened, because really at the end of the day we were both artists and we were entitled to challenge popular culture and alter it.
So I was very